Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Season 5.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Bum.
Bum.
Oh, Archie, can you believe it's been 5 seasons?
I know it's been 4 seasons, Edith. What are you telling me that for?
All right, folks. So we're back with All in the Family. This show is we've had a very interesting run of episodes. Of course, the first one we covered, I believe, was the oh, let me see here, Dragon, help me out. I believe the first one we covered was just kind of a generic, like, yeah, that was a nice kind of like primer for All in the Family Christmas specials.
Well, no, if the way I remember, I think we did. I think we did 2 of them in the first year. Then we did we backtracked the following year, and then we Sorry, folks, just kind of blanking on.
Did we do 1 year? Was it the Draft Dodger and then Edith's breast cancer? Did we?
Yeah, those. Yeah, that was our strong double hitter. Yeah, like those are the 2 big ones.
Okay. And then I believe another year we just kind of did one that was a little less memorable.
Yeah, I believe it was like Christmas Day at the Bunkers. That was like the first one they did, and that had like the Jeffersons without the George Jefferson yet because they hadn't cast him.
So I gotta say, Dragon, I hate to say it, kind of going on a downward trajectory here.
You know, to be fair,
we're kind of going from like the gold to like, yeah, it's decent, but this is not exactly like must-see TV here, folks. Like, this is going to be an interesting case study in like not so strong All in the Family, in my opinion, at least.
Well, to provide some context, I mean, this is season 9 of All in the Family. I warned you up front this was going to be kind of a different All in the Family than you're used to, because this is like the last time we talked about All in the Family, we talked about another landmark one. We talked about the 2-parter, Edith's Crisis of Faith.
Part 1, Part 2. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
With Beverly LaSalle, I believe. I'm trying to. I blindly want to say Divine played Beverly LaSalle. I'm pretty sure of that, but I'm not entirely certain. I'm pretty sure it was Divine. And basically Beverly LaSalle, it's the death of the.
I remember it being Divine, but I could be wrong.
I could be. I'm sorry. You remember it being Divine too?
No, I don't remember it being Divine.
You might want to look that up just so we don't look like fools here. But I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's on me. But anyway, the point is, that was a really great emotional one, and it's kind of still in the later in the All in the Family seasons, but at a certain point in All in the Family, Mike and Gloria, they leave the show, and because All in the Family is one of the most spun off shows on television.
It wasn't Divine. It was a transgender actor named Laurie Shannon.
Right. Okay, I'm thinking of I was thinking something else with Divine, but okay, it's good. It's good though.
Oh, I'm sorry, she wasn't transgender. She was just openly gay.
Sure.
An openly gay impersonator.
Anyway, the point.
Yeah.
Is the point is, so All in the Family in the season 9, we get rid of Mike and Gloria because All in the Family is one of the most spun-off shows in television history, where you have like a number of spin-offs coming from one singular show. Because you get B. Arthur, essentially B. Arthur. It's not the same character, but she and then there's Maude. So Maude did get a show, and of course that show would lead her to Golden Girls and so on and so forth. So her career took off.
Jefferson's as well.
Jefferson's a very famous example. Yeah. Then, even believe it or not, even Mike, I forget if Mike had a spinoff. I know Gloria did. Well, Gloria had a ridiculous spinoff that no one talks about, where she became like a veterinarian.
People give all the credit to Marvel, Edith, but we had a cinematic universe before it was cool.
It gets even more deep cuts than that, Tiki, because even The House had a spinoff.
Oh God!
I believe it was like 704 Hauser Street, where basically Mike and Gloria's son, grown up, had sold the bunker residence to a young black family. I think. I believe that was the spin-off premise. I've never seen an episode of the show. I hear about that one all the time because I'm just like, really? Even The House got a spin-off? Wow. The thing I'm dying to know is like if they kept the chair on that or not. That's the thing I'm dying to know. That's the reason I gotta look into it. I'm wondering, did Archie take the chair with him? Because he would have.
That show has a Christmas special. I'd be down.
I really don't think it does. Well, we'll look into it. I promise you, we'll look into it. Anyway, so importantly, here's the main thing I really
do a whole Christmas in July based in the All in the Family universe.
well, certainly. Now, here's the big thing we got to talk about. This is the big trajectory change in All in the Family. So while they're getting spin-offs, those characters, essentially Mike and Gloria in the show, in the history of the show, they had gotten divorced, which is kind of why they were out. So that was their excuse for getting rid of them from the show. They were getting a divorce. And there was like the only remaining All in the Family Christmas special that we have is like one where they're it's basically visiting, but basically it's about they're visiting them post the divorce. That's kind of like the only last. It's not that it wasn't my favorite, so that's why.
Dragon, at this point, I feel like we just kind of have to round it out. Like we kind of have to do it just so we have the complete set.
I know. That's why I kind of put it off to the last one, folks. We usually try to save the ones that we don't want to get to till we're kind of desperate for them. In that case, so we covered. I think we covered the best ones and kind of the average ones. And Bogus Bills, I do have a fondness for. And Bogus Bills transitions us into the last season of All in the Family was basically it was continued, so it did technically go on beyond 9 seasons in the spinoff called Archie's Place.
Yeah, this definitely feels like a transition into that show.
Yeah, and of course that's why he has the bar now. It's the bar basically is almost like it was like I forget if it was I'm pretty sure it was it had to be a precursor. Cheers was in the 80s, started in the 80s and ended in the 90s. So so this was kind of a precursor to Cheers, I think, with kind of your bar set show where again Archie's Place is almost entirely set in the bar from what I recall. And again, this is basically no Mike and Gloria. It was all Archie and Edith stories, and it was basically half Archie in the bar and half the show. Where the show traditionally was like everything happened in the house, and occasionally they'd go out of the house. That's usually what the structure was. And this is the huge thing here. So season 9 was basically kind of a pseudo Archie's Place season. It was all Archie and Edith. And when Archie's Place started, the fall basically after this, they did Archie's Place, but Gene Stapleton didn't want to play Edith anymore, and they begged. And Norman Lear, one of the most famous showrunners in all of television history, like, the guy's still around. He's amazing. He has a documentary on Netflix I highly recommend everyone check out. Norman Lear is phenomenal. Anyway, Norman Lear, he begged Gene Stapleton to stay on because that character is real to him. It's like real to everybody, and of course, I think for a while he kind of talked her off the ledge with leaving the show, but at a certain point she had to leave. She had other stuff she wanted to do, and that's when famously, I believe the first episode, it's either the first episode or like the 5th episode of Archie's Place, they killed her off in one of the most historic moments on television, where she was like one of the most tragic things of Archie Bunker breaking down over Edith's slipper in the bedroom. So basically this is kind of like the last kind of licks we have of Edith before she kind of dissipates from the All in the Family universe in a way.
Oh man, that's dark.
I know it is, and that's why I just love that even into season 9, again, our performers are still. I think our performers are still operating pretty strong.
I do too. I think that Archie is a little bit watered down without the meathead to bounce off of.
That's fair. You get less kind of political debate, more just kind of the character remains just kind of what you can say with the character is kind of shrunken. Like you can't exactly do Draft Dodger unless you have a reason for kind of our Draft Dodger character to enter the house.
That being said, I do think that Edith is definitely on point. Like she might not have the emotional heft that she's had in a couple of the episodes we've covered, but she's a lot of fun in this episode. That's for darn sure.
Certainly, and that's why, like these other, I remember we've had this kind of fun thing right before we get into it. It's just kind of setting the stage, so I think basically you'll be all caught up by the time I get to this one last bit here. We keep having this recurring thing where you keep asking me, hey, are these side characters featured in these holiday specials? Are they regulars? Are they recurring? Are they recurring characters? In the case of this, yes, because now they had no Mike and Gloria, they had to make the neighbor characters recurring and bring them back into the main fold. That's why Archie has like the Harry, his bartender / kind of co-owner.
I figured that guy was a regular at the very
and like the neighbor, like they were slowly making kind of these one-offs kind of regulars because they needed to fill their main cast. And speaking of which, the last regular, then we can move on. You'll be absolutely all caught up. Is Stephanie, the little girl. So. Okay. This is a really good story, and I believe in like the top of season 9, if not the end of season 8. I think it was 9.
I don't even remember a little girl in this episode. Was there a little girl in this episode?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. She comes into the bar. Yeah, it's about midway through. Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
that's essentially that's Archie's niece. Where, well, specifically Edith, on Edith's side of the family, Edith had a cousin. That cousin was kind of a deadbeat dad and just kind of dropped the kid off. He was asking for money, and he kind of left the girl there. And basically Archie was in a position of like, do you send the girl like to social services and foster homes and such, or do you just kind of like, do you raise the girl? And Edith, of course, being such a kind woman, she wanted to take the girl in and basically kind of mother her again. Now Gloria and Mike were gone and everything. So it was really a little beautiful gesture, speaking to kind of Edith's faith in humanity. And, Stephanie just kind of stuck around. It was like kind of this little spunky character who gave Archie the business. She wasn't an annoying kid character. She was good.
Okay.
Fun fact. Okay, let's get started then.
All right, so Archie's kind of like instantly he's not necessarily in Scrooge mode at the bar, but he's he's not thrilled with the holiday season.
Yeah. So they're greeting. They have like one of those charity Santas who's kind of coming in off the street, drinking in the bar. Kind of our bar regulars in the place around the holiday season.
We do some really good Christmas specials with charity Santas, Dragon. There was a great Twilight Zone episode that started Charity Santa, and then also famously the Simpsons episode. The very first Simpsons episode was an episode where Homer was a charity Santa. So charity Santas get around, so chalk that up to a trope.
You betcha. So let's see. So Archie is saying, like, "Yo, the Christmas scene is something. Yeah, it's something awful."
Yeah, that's right. I'm Archie Bunker. I have to be the Scrooge. It's obligatory. It's in my contract.
And he does learn something, so he absolutely is our Scrooge,
Sure.
So, he's asking, like, what should I be jolly about, Harry? There are muggers in the streets. Merchants are gouging you. And your dignified men on the subway are groping you. So Santa, it's like not really a lot to be jolly about from Archie's kind of a glass half empty kind of perspective there. Santa is questioning, hey, what about around for the house for the holidays? And it's like, get a load of this, Harry. They got a Santa here. He's been working the corner for a week, and he's acting like he's a regular. And Hank just being so Harry's a lot of H names in this, by the way. There's 3 characters with H for a first name here. So we have Harry, who's our bartender. We got Hank, who's like kind of the regular.
Yeah.
He's the regular wise guy saying like, I'm a regular. I never get free drinks. We'll write a letter to Santa. So Harry's suggesting a really nice show of Christmas cheer here, a little holiday spirit. Harry suggesting to Archie, come on, let's buy a round for the bar and for Santa. And he says, okay, well, Santa comes up to the bar. They all give him a free drink and a round for the houses, but just one, no doubles.
Mm-hmm.
A nice gesture for the holidays. Even give a drink to the blind man.
Here's looking at you. Oh, wait, sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Van B.
What's his name?
I'm saying they call him Van B for short. The full name is, I just want to make sure I get it right here. It's one second. I gotta
like some long convoluted name.
It's Mr. Van Ransager, I think.
All right.
So again, just Mr. Van.
I'm just gonna call him the blind guy.
Or that, sure, let's be politically correct. Okay, so
I'm blind Matt Burdock.
We're very inclusive here for our blind
The
listeners.
inclusive blind guy. I'm the baker's inclusive Jew.
Okay, not every not every character. We can't just use that we can't use inclusive as our politically correct prefix, all right?
Like hell you can't.
We can't do that for every.
Okay.
Anyway, so blind man aside, let's see. So they're questioning how's the charity. They're asking Santa how's the charity going. He's asking around. Santa's asking around. Hey, you guys. You guys want to donate anything? And they're all just like, they're all tapped out essentially. So I guess that answers my question. So let's see. Oh yeah. So Archie warns Santa to get out there, but hey Santa, you want to get out there before the Hare Krishnas steal your business?
Yeah, don't ring your jolly bell so loud, huh? Nobody likes that.
Yeah, especially Archie. So, Harry, who, by the way, I forgot to mention this, Harry is played by, now I'm sure Tiki might not appreciate this as most would, but Harry is played by an actor by the name of Jason Wingreen. And for diehard Star Wars fans, Jason Wingreen is the voice of Boba Fett. The famed, what if he doesn't survive? That's him.
Wow, the guy who did like 3 lines of a really, really, really overrated character.
To be fair, though, you got to give him this: the lines that have stood the test of time with people.
Just like another famous line is going to stand the test of time with people, Dragon.
Oh, come on! Don't be petty. Come on.
Chewbacca, I'm not gonna say that every time.
You just gotta be so pedantic about Star Wars. Why can't you just Why can't you just bask in
Star
it?
Wars is like, look, I feel the same way about Solo that other people do about The Last Jedi. Okay, I really do. Anyways,
I just hope a bunch of Wookiees, just kind of confront you one day. I just really hope that happens. I just hope that nothing bad. I just hope they confront you, just kind of like just stare at you blankly.
Well, I like how civil you are in this hypothetical scenario. It's like not enough to cause me bodily harm, but enough to give me the business.
That's the thing. I just want. They don't even need the. I don't even want to do the Wookiee call. Actually, I just want them all to kind of gather. Basically, like the crying Native American guy. I want to basically do that to you.
God.
Just all surround you and it's like basically like Chewbacca's family from the holiday special is like surround you.
But like badass, like if Chewbacca's family from the holiday special was actually in Solo, like the one fan thing that I wanted from Solo that they didn't give me. I'm sorry. Why? Dragon, you just have to understand. You can't reference Star Wars, or else it's going to turn into a Solo rant. Okay?
And I'm Star Wars ashamed of you for those moments. Now I gotta tell you.
No, you have to understand. That's just where I am right now as a Star Wars fan. I don't like that movie that much.
Anyway, I do bring up because of the fun fact that we talked about a special, a Christmas episode that talked about the Star Wars holiday special, specifically Boba Fett. And hey, coincidental.
Okay, fair enough. And we did have a great Boba Fett reference with the Goldbergs, which we recently talked about as well. So
especially Dradactyl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there were dinosaurs in the Star Wars holiday special, to be fair. Like, Boba Fett was riding
I love that about the holiday special. How unfinished the Star Wars universe was at that point.
It's like when the New Hope, when they had like the giant cricket in the bar because they didn't have monsters yet before they went back.
Or like the devil guy.
yeah, that guy. Anyway, okay, so Harry's advising Archie not to count the money in front of the customers, but thank goodness Archie did, because in counting the money, he discovered the namesake bogus bill. A $10 bill, which is phony. And
I was calling Harry out like, "Jeez, and I thought I didn't have faith in humanity."
Yeah. So, Tiki, tell me, how can you spot a phony bill? How can you spot the bogus bills in question, Tiki?
Because a certain word is going to be spelled backwards. And what is that word, Dragon?
God.
In dog we trust.
Yes. I guess someone was a big fan of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, or Dog Sees God. I'm sorry.
Dog Sees God. Yeah. I
don't know why I was jumping that because Mark Hamill's been in the other one. That's why I keep.
Really, Mark Hamill was in You're a Good Man?
Yeah, he played Snoopy in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Really?
Yeah, once. Yeah.
Footage of this somehow.
I'd love to find footage of it. Say like a young. I think it might be a pre-Star Wars Mark Hamill.
Oh wow! Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You probably won't be able to find footage of that.
Like when I think of like famous people in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, I think of like the B.D. Wong is Linus run of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Oh my god.
That's the thing, Dragon. He's on the cast album if you want to hear that.
It is awfully funny. Oh, by the way, just before we get any further, I forgot to mention this really awesome fun fact about All in the Family in total here. Did you know that All in the Family they have probably the most consistent directors you've ever seen on TV? Because Breaking Bad, we always highlight how we have a different director on like Better Call Saul. We have like a different director almost every episode, or recurring
Sure.
directors. Well, All in the Family in their history, for they have like a main director for like a number of seasons, as in the same guy directs all the episodes within a season. Like John Rich directed for like 2 to 3 seasons straight, possibly more. And like the guy who directed this is Paul Bogart, and Paul Bogart's directed 4 seasons straight.
Oh wow, no, I didn't know that.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, no wonder the show had such a consistent vision to it.
That's what I'm saying. Like basically, like every grouping of seasons, you'd have one guy on it versus just like oh my god, it's like Steven Zurich directed this episode of Daredevil like he did the other couple. It's like when he shows up, it's an event. When this guy's like, oh, it's Paul again. Anyway, but yes, it does lead to that consistent kind of vision. So anyway, yeah. So again, dog we trust it. Dog. That's how we tell the phony god bills.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also a hilarious preacher tie-in I could reference here, but I won't. So let's see. Trying to think where we are here after the phony bills. Oh yes. So then Archie's saying, "Oh, just basically, what's the world coming to without you?" It's like you can't go around with your eyes not open, Harry. And of course, he apologizes to Mr. Van B here. It's just sorry about that.
We get a lot of good blind jokes in this episode.
Yeah, and of course Harry's like Archie blames Harry, and Harry's like, he's like, "How do you know it was me? You'd mistake toilet paper if it were painted green." So let's see. So then Archie tries to prove this to him with a test. And this is a fun. Again, All in the Family has a mastery over the elaborate joke. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Like basically, Archie he puts Harry to the test here. Basically, he shuffles the other bills in with the phony bill. What Harry doesn't know is that Archie put the bill that he was throwing in there into his pocket just to prove a point. He's cheating essentially, and he shuffles it around, and then basically Harry finds another one. So it's like, wait a minute, that's impossible. And he looks at it, and dog we trust. So again, there's more phony bills.
We got stifled with 2 of them.
Yep, and of course, as Harry goes to check the vault to see like how many more they've got, Archie has this great. Look at the close and political that we do in this one, where he says, "The day J. Edgar Hoover went westport, I knew there was going to be a rise in criminology." just again, it's funny. Okay, let's see. So Harry's checking the safe. And the blind man says, "You want to buy my glasses?"
No jokes about the blind. They make me so sad. So sad.
Oh god, just I can imagine like if you're somebody who looks like there's like a drunk stumblebum in the bar who's like lifted.
So sad.
It's like you imagine like it just seems like there's like a raggedy drunk in the corner of the room. Then that drunk raises its head and you realize, oh, it's just a charming Vera Farmiga in there for a little kid. It just goes. Like takes a swig and she goes back down. It was like a Muppet cameo, just like. And there's Bob.
Everyone
Hope.
makes fun of me for the Godzilla trailer. Yeah,
I didn't write
what
it.
I'm saying makes sense.
I didn't write it.
God.
Okay, so then little Stephanie drops by. So Stephanie drops by because Edith, unpacking her lunch, switched it with Archie's. So let's see. So her lunch, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what? Let me phrase it. I'm trying to phrase it correctly here because this could be.
I don't have like the exact phrasing, but I do have the items.
So what Edith packed in basically what Archie's. Sorry. Okay. Here's what Steffi got in her lunch. Oh crap! No, I'm saying okay. Here's what Archie got in his lunch that was meant for Stephanie. Go on, fire.
Wait, so Stephanie's lunch? Is that what you're saying? You're getting this?
What's Stephanie's lunch? What's Stephanie?
All right, so Stephanie's lunch consists of a chicken leg, hard-boiled egg, 2 carrot sticks, an apple, and wheat bread.
Germ wheat bread.
Yeah.
Or wheat germ bread.
Junk food. Then Archie's lunch dragon is
a liver roast and bologna sandwich and 2 Twinkies. Loves his Twinkies. That Archie Bunker. They'll survive at least 700 years to the future if Wally's taught us anything.
Bologna. Now that's a real food. When you eat it, you know that you've ate something all day long.
Oh God. So this is hilarious. So Steph here, she's asking for beer. Can I have a beer? And this, of course, is the wonderful Carol O'Connor here. Says beer. And of course, her response is, yeah, beer, 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 beer. Where did you learn to ask for things like that? It's just, I must have heard it somewhere.
Was that a shot?
No. Good. You got to steer clear of no-class people who are gonna talk all loud like that. You didn't even say please. May I please have a beer? No. And then she gets kind of crass, just like hitting the bar. Oh, it's delightful. So again, this kid gave him the business, and it's quite funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now go back to your dopey school. If it's dopey, why do I have to go? It basically spells out, well, you see, society doesn't know what else to do with you.
Yeah, pretty true. Pretty true.
Entirely incorrect.
Depending on the quality of the public school.
Yeah, sure. So, so then basically Archie sends her on her way. So as that happens, we have Barney again. It's impressive. Like All in the Family classically, you have like this one setting, and we haven't really, it feels really fluid, like we've been in the same location,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And we have been in the same location. I feel like there may or may not have been an act break, but you can hardly tell,
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's like kind of going like a theatrical production. It just keeps going and going.
Mm-hmm.
So Barney Hefner. That's the neighbor who became a regular essentially. The main drunk in the bar essentially. The main guy who's he's like Archie knows out of all the guys that kind of want.
Main drunks in bars always named Barney Dragon.
Yeah, I guess I wonder if maybe that was intentional. You never know. Maybe they named him after this guy. I don't know.
Could be.
Entirely possible. You remember, it predates Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's see. Oh yeah, so Barney's very kind of.
There's a Barney on Simpsons as well.
Well, I know. I'm saying that we had this before that Barney, so this Barney might have inspired that Barney.
Oh right, yeah.
Anyway, what was I getting at here? Oh yeah, so Barney Hefner here. He wants free nuts. He wants more free nuts. He's eating them out of house and homes with the free nuts at the bar. And basically the idea is like, you give them nuts so they get thirsty and they will want more to drink. That's the gimmick. And Barney just wants to kind of mooch off him here. Says, "Come on, Barney, I haven't even ordered something to drink." And it basically says, "Yeah, sure, I am actually thirsty. How about some water?" Of course, water free as well. So he gives him water. He says, "You want to twist in that?" Says, "If you don't mind." He basically twists like the rag that he's cleaning things with.
No trouble at all.
Yeah. Well, that's what Barney gets. You never mess with a bartender, folks. Those guys work hard for the money. So, you never want to never tick off anyone who's making your food or making your drinks. It's a word of advice, folks. Never, just always treat those people with respect. So, little holiday PSA. Okay, so Harry has bad news. 3 more phony 10s. So Archie this gag where Archie's doing the math here, and so far I think the count's up to 50 for how many phony out of the eventual 7. So it's like Archie's doing the math. Of course, Archie, you can't really. I don't know, folks. None of us are kind of whizzes when it comes to math. But Archie Bunker, out of all people, it takes him a little longer to catch up. So he doesn't have the Incredibles 2 excuse of why are they changing math?
God.
Math is math. Anyway, so Archie gets a call, Tiki, and this is kind of our big act break here. So Archie gets a call.
Archie Bunker, bartender. Oh, this is Edith, your wife.
Edith, stop tying up the phones. What do you want?
I need you right away, Archie. I ain't at home. I'm at the Elmhurst police station.
Archie addresses the crowd.
I love how polite she is. She's waving to the police officers. They're politely waving back.
Yeah, and of course, he tells they love the bar page. Have really nothing else to do with their days. So just telling them what's going on. She's at the Elmhurst police station. What's she doing there? Collectively, says, "What are you doing there?" And says, "They're holding me for buying you underwear with a phony $10 bill." And he says, "Oh my dog," and he's he's so stifled, like he meant God. I mean, that's a good act break.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right, so start us off here, Tiki. When we come, so we're with Edith for the beginning of Act 2 here.
All right. I was gonna go through, and I was going through lots of men's underwear, the fruit of the loom kind. And then she gets kind of personal, and he likes the kind with the expando seat
Oh God.
because he likes to sit roomy.
Of course.
Cop's like, I know how he feels, lady.
Right.
Anyway,
poor,
so I paid for it with this bill. Well, where did the bill come from? From my purse.
And basically, poor Officer Harrison and Herb here. They're the two. I believe he's a detective or he's a sergeant. I'm not sure because basically the idea is like Herb might have brought her, and then this guy's kind of questioning her. He's credited as officer. I don't know how much of a delineation there's. It might have just been like officer of the collective. Since the point is Harrison and Herb here. Again, a lot of H's.
Yeah, no kidding.
At least four to five characters with H in there. So Harrison's basically he's trying to prod and get like more specific, and of course he has quite the raconteur with Edith Bunker here. He says, "I put it there." Like, how'd the bill get there? I put it there. Where was it before? Oh, before the bill. The bill was in the kitchen. It was in the. It was in the Pinko can jar from WW2.
That's the big one.
So then basically he's spelling out exactly what he's trying to do here. He's just trying to trace. Yeah, he's trying to trace the builder who had it previously, so he can find out who's culpable for this federal crime of counterfeiting bills.
Uh-huh.
So then once Edith has this explained to her, and this is a really sweet show of affection here. You know, Edith Bunker, she's not going to rat on Archie. You know, she knows that, again, she's not quite seeing the grasp of the situation here. Okay, well, Archie was obviously handed it from someone else, but she's not putting two and two together on that quite yet. She's just figuring, I got to protect Archie. So Edith Bunker, she goes kind of street on him here. Or she's very loyal.
I'm sorry, but I ain't talking.
Snitches get stitches. Or the quote Paul Bettany, snitches end up in ditches.
And then she doesn't she kind of takes the imaginary key and locks her lips shut.
Is the imaginary tickle.
Follows the key, which leads to one of my favorite lines in the episode. Wait a minute. If your lips are locked, how did you open your mouth to swallow the key?
This is a running gag with Edith, by the way, with the tickle lock. You know, she always loves like saying, whenever she does this thing, she calls it the tickle lock, which is the old timey term for, which is, my kids do that. Edith breaks it to explain exactly how the swallowing the key thing works, and yes, Officer Harrison here is going to calls her out on it. Of course, just they have the Stapleton charm, like realizing, oh, I defeated my own logic. Something along those lines. So then, let's see. So Herb's. So Herb, by the way, Herb is like the conspiracy theorist here. He thinks like there might be like Agnes D'Annunzio, like might be like smarter than she lets on. So then Harrison here, he does something. You know, it's a tactic, so I can't really fault him for it. He just tries to scare her with kind of something that's not entirely wrong. He tries to scare her in the talking here, like saying, you know, you have to tell us what's going on here, or else you can't leave. And just, I know my rights. Yeah, which is I learned them from Hawaii Five, and then basically, unless you have any of this, Tiki, I'll summarize it here.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Basically, she recaps an episode of Hawaii Five-O, which I would love if this were an actual episode. I wasn't able quite to comb over every episode of Hawaii Five-O to verify this or not, but basically, there's like this diamond saucer inside, like a diamond that was inside of a pineapple. Like a ceramic pineapple shell or something. She recaps the whole episode, which is hilarious. So, you know, they warn her. Essentially, Harrison warns her that she could be an accessory to counterfeiting if she doesn't talk when she knows something. So Herb thinks, basically runs his theory, but he thinks that she's the nunzio, which means she's too smart for me. I can't get anything out of her. Like she might be putting on an elaborate act. Which I gotta tell you, folks, there's this thing I've been meaning to watch on Netflix, which actually kind of explores, like, you got drug pinkins under your nose here, folks. I'm talking about even more elaborate than your Walter Whites and the RVs and everything. I'm talking, you got like something, you got criminal masterminds who are like the kindly old folks around you. I'm just saying, you never know. I'm saying.
Really?
Seriously, that's what that new Netflix thing's all about. It's I keep
What's it
meaning to
called?
watch it. I think it's called drug kingpins. I'm pretty sure it's very directly what they're the main reveal they're looking at. So I think it's like drug kingpins or like drug. Yeah, it has to be kingpins. I think that's what it is.
I'll have to look into that.
Anyway, so getting back on point here. Oh yes, so Archie enters the episode. He gets tangled up in these crooks, and we always have a gag where Archie he has trouble with doorways because usually when the meathead was around, he would get lodged in the door like, "Let me get through there first." And in this case, he's going to a police station. He gets tangled up in these crooks who are handcuffed together. It's just like, why are you not letting me through? And he realizes, oh, right, you crooks, you cuffed, right? Then he greets Edith and says, "Oh, what did they do to you? You look terrible." Again, not meaning to, and this is the charm of Archie Bunker. He's a good man who loves his husband, but sorry. He's a good man. Thinking about Edith for a moment. I was reading ahead for Edith here for a moment. Forgive me. The Archie loves.
It's a mistake. It's fine.
So Archie loves his wife. Again, at the end of the day, Archie, loves his wife. He'll treat her terribly, unintentionally, so he'll never do anything intentionally to harm Edith.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "You look terrible," without realizing that he's kind of insulted her with that concern. So, Archie basically clears things up. "Let me clear things up, officer. She got the bill from me." And then Edith recaps.
My God, they're a mom and pop counterfeit ring.
Yes, basically the whole.
Jumping ahead a little bit.
Just by a line.
Okay.
Edith begins to recap things. Then Herb kind of jumps in with the whole mom and pop counterfeiting ring. And says, "Are you Angelo D'Annunzio?" "Who's Angelo D'Annunzio?" "I think Agnes's husband." And then of course we have this beautiful line delivery by Gene Stapleton, which says, "Maybe they're the people at the end of the block nobody sees."
Oh God! There's one on every block, right?
I know, right? I had the same thought, right? Yeah, there's always those people down the block.
Yep.
Anyway, so Harrison's starting to buy it, basically Harrison's starting to buy the Herb's little D'Annunzio theory. Says, "Yeah, I think she's the brains." Okay, so then Archie clears things up, puts all his identification, like his IDs, like his Teamsters card, like a library card. Sorry, this is funny. A library card that as he's reading, he realizes belongs to Quentin.
I don't know how that got in there.
Looks like a different guy. It's hilarious. Okay, so then basically Archie offers his 100% full cooperation. The next time the bills come in, like he'll contact the cops, so he'll let him in on it so they can catch the guy. He's most likely one of the customers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, and there's this hilarious bit where Archie tries to grab the bills back, and he realizes, oh, wait a minute, yeah, you need those, right? He doesn't want to part with like what it could be like a $10 bill or more.
I love how Edith is just like, goodbye.
Yeah, and anyway, and Archie's hurrying her out the door because there are three things he hates, Stig. Do you know what those three things are?
Police stations, opera, and cold toilet seats.
Cold toilet seats, yeah. All right, let's see. So, okay, back to the bar for the third act here. Again, I gotta tell you, the 3-act structure of All in the Family always has my attention. That's a good thing. That show always had a command over the 3-act structure.
It did. It really did. Yeah.
All right, so you want to lead us through Act 3?
Yeah, sure. So let's see. Sorry, let me just get. Okay, yeah. So we got Archie's just announcing they have 15 minutes before the bar closes. Then another phony 10 comes in. And that makes 7. Oh, congratulations, Arch. You're a lucky man. 7's a lucky number.
So Archie's kind of playing an amateur Columbo in the third act here.
Mm-hmm.
Archie figures that the bill came within the last hour, which means, okay, no one's left, so now they have suspects. So he locks the door and informs everybody of the situation, puts it bluntly.
One of us is a dirty thief.
No confessions, no squealers. And
someone sings, we're gonna be here until I'm sorry, what's
swallow.
the line, Dragon?
We're gonna be here until I guess we're gonna be here till the swallows come back from Crapistano. See, the expression is how the swallows fly to the Capistrano, and he's got it. Yeah. Anyway, so Barney, let's see, Barney jokes that Archie, it's a crime to impersonate a police officer. They're still remaining merry about being locked in. I mean, folks, again, from my love of OJ Made in America, I can tell you that it's no joke when you lock people in a room. There are consequences. Take my word for that. Anyway, let's see. So Harry, Harry can't remember who it was, which is not helpful. And of course, there's a reason Harry can't remember who it was, which is hilarious, by the way, when they reveal why that is. Anyway, so Mr. Van Rensselaer, that's what it is. I just want to get it correct. So Mr. Van Rensselaer, the blind man, who is key to everything. Folks, when in doubt, go to the blind guy, especially if he's a lawyer. If he's a lawyer, throw all your money at him and trust him to get you out of that situation. It could be Matt Murdock, you never know. I'm kidding, but how awesome.
Very dangerous life advice. Like,
no.
What if the lawyer is my court-appointed lawyer, Larry Gruber?
Oh, God. All right, fair advice. Include all lawyers, folks. But by the same token, though, we need more blind lawyers. Like, let's come on, let's go for some more blind lawyers, folks. Let's make the world more exciting. Come on.
Blind lawyer would be odd. Dragon, I got to admit, if I did have a blind lawyer, I would inherently trust them more. I've got to admit.
Yep.
They could be the biggest scumbag on earth, but I would inherently trust them more.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
Either that or one's named Nelson. All right. Okay, let's see. So it's basically oh yeah, right. So Mr. Van Rensselaer here. He heard everything. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a little taste of Murdoch vision here, folks. For Mr. Van Rensselaer, he heard everything. He basically sniffs out the sounds of payment. So he knows like certain people paid in change, and collectively people paid in multiple bills, and therefore you need like this one $10 bill.
Uh-huh.
The one person who asked for change for a $10 bill, he remembers, and of course, Archie's saying, Archie's saying who, and then Harry's saying who, and Archie's saying you dope how. How do you not know who? And of course,
because you were the one that took the bill, Archie.
God. Which is hilarious, and of course that ain't important right now. Just diverting all blame. So, and then of course the blind man sells out. Our culprit here says, "Happy holidays, Santa Claus," and of course we're it was the Santa. Bum bum bum. Yes. Let's see. I don't believe it. There goes another childhood delusion. I'm sorry, childhood. Delusion. Yeah, it was childhood.
Yeah.
All right, so Santa. So basically, Santa cops who he says like he didn't make the bills. His Uncle Harold did, and his Uncle Harold died, and he left him 10 phony tens.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he do that? Because I was his favorite nephew. So Santa basically plays the world's smallest violin for him here, but I think he sells it well. Where he basically says he lost his job, he applied for unemployment insurance, and he swears like he doesn't have any savings, but he'll pay him out of the Santa Claus salary that he gets for being on the corners for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So Barney, Barney wants to cut Santa loose. Says, come on, how can you do this to a Santa Claus on Christmas? Around Christmas, come on. And let's see. So Harry sees it as this is a Santa Claus who who cheated us out of $70. So he wants to call the cops. And let's see. So then Archie, Archie. He stops Harry from calling the cops. Harry from calling the cops. He hangs up the phone. That phone gets smashed on his hand, which is hilarious. Kind of smashes like one of his fingers a little bit, comedic fashion. And he basically he says we're gonna let Santa go here. It's in the Christmas spirit, which is a really nice gesture.
Man said he's sorry and admits the error of his ways.
Yeah. And he kind of shames Harry. He shames Harry for not letting Santa off the hook around the holidays. I got a little heart. I got a little heart. I got a little heart left. So let Santa go. And Santa shakes his hand like, oh, watch the finger. Watch the finger. Just kind of get smashed. And of course, they get to the door, and before Archie unlocks it, it says, I can't step over that threshold. All really kind of cool and kind of almost biblical. And he says, "Why is that? The door's locked." So it unlocks the door. Archie rips up the fake bills, and he wishes a Merry Christmas. And he says, don't forget, don't forget you owe me.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "You check your stocking, Archie Bunker. You're a good man, essentially. You check your stocking." He says, "Go ahead, ring the bell." And this is a nice little, again, our Scrooge arc coming complete. Archie does have Christmas spirit, he just doesn't advertise.
You know what? You're right. That is a good callback. I didn't even catch that.
Like, go ahead, ring the bell a little. It's the holidays. It's the holiday spirit kind of infecting Archie Bunker in the best of ways. And then Harry comes to a realization. You know what, Archie?
I got to admit, Archie, you were right. I feel good about the decision, it being in Christmas and all.
Of course, then, as he says this, Archie's like,
we have a great punchline, Dragon. This is just a great punchline to the whole episode, I think.
So Archie, as Harry's saying, also he's squinting at something off screen, and then Archie hits us with the punchline. Here, do you have
it? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you done the right thing. Or I'm sorry. He says, "I hope I done the right thing because I just saw old Sandy Claus drive away to 79 cattle, which Cadillac. I assume is a Cadillac, Dragon."
I think you said Cadillac. I think you just might have smudged that one a little bit, but yes, Cadillac.
No, you know what? You know what might have happened? The episode I was watching probably cut out.
Well, I think we had the same episode, so I don't really. It's not important. The point is Cadillac. All right.
Cadillac. I'm sorry. Nah, my bad.
That's fine. It might have been like an Archie Bunkerism. It might have been shortened for Cadillac. I can't recall. Anyway, the point is, yes, it's a perfect punchline for the whole thing. I felt so. Final thoughts. What'd you think?
Dragon, I got to admit that this one's fun. It's just like compared to a lot of the others that we've talked about, it's probably better than the season 1 episode, the Christmas at the Bunkers episode. It's better than that one. It's just it doesn't really have the emotional punch that some of the other All in the Family episodes have had. And I will admit the change in setting and the meathead not being involved and Gloria not being involved, yeah, that is noticeable. It definitely is. So it's a solid episode all around. I think Edith's probably the best part of the episode, just with all her, she's just adorable as ever. The bar is in there. It's definitely an interesting taste of late All in the Family, but I definitely can't say this is my favorite of the season. I would say this is probably one of my, I don't want to say it's one of my least favorite of the things we've covered this year, but it's probably one of the ones that's made the least impression on me. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's fine.
That's fair.
Nothing bad about it, but I probably won't I'm not going to be like, oh man, that was really something else.
I mean, the point is, it's no Inspector Gadget's Christmas, right?
Oh God, no! Oh God, no! No, not at all.
That's the low. I think out of all time, Tiki, unless you can think of anything.
All time, that's the low one. That's the low one for Christmas.
Right?
In July, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we have Christmas with the Cranks, which isn't Christmas in July, but that's an entirely different story.
To be fair, that wasn't about that. That was just about.
I know it wasn't about the movie itself. You're right.
Yeah, because we still get one of these days. We got to go back and we got to give that one a fair shake. Because we got to we got to do that one over. Anyway, okay. My final thoughts on this. Yeah, again, this one. I'd agree with some of your points, Teague, but you got to remember. And I know you're not saying anything against it like this, but it's you got to remember the other Christmas episodes, the emotional ones, the emotional content. Not only are those good Christmas episodes, those are also like really iconic episodes from the series too. Like those are also very like whenever people cite like some like the top 10, like the top 20 All in the Family episodes, those episodes are on that. So that's a high bar to measure up to.
Sure, absolutely. That's totally fair.
And by the same token, I think it's absolutely correct that again, this is definitely in the ballpark of like something like the first Christmas special with Christmas Day at the Bunkers. Like, again, that's very much in the same wheelhouse. It's just kind of a harmless, nice little it's a little Christmas 101.
I definitely think this is a little bit better and a little bit more memorable than the Christmas with the Bunkers. So
I like the tight story on this one. I like everything comes back. It's very clear cut. I really like that. Sometimes I'm not saying this as a fault with the Mike and Gloria stuff, and I don't need to make a case for like season 9 because I'll admit, of course, as any show goes on, you lose things and things change. It's not always as good as it once was. It just happens. And by the same token, though, Mike and Gloria always have some plot lines that get initiated. Like I'd say, 8 to 9 times out of 10, the Mike and Gloria stories were good, but sometimes just you needed a story because you needed a story. And when you take them out of the equation, I thought it was, again, still showed kind of story to its base essentials, and it still got the job done. So Bogus Bills That checks off all the boxes for me, and it was it's delightful, humble, and nice. And you're right, definitely not one of our stars, kind of our showstoppers this Christmas and July season, but definitely it's kind of a nice little cozy kind of nook.
Yeah.
It's like a little breakfast, like a little kind of holiday breakfast nook somewhere.
All right, so unwrapping what we're going to be doing next time on Christmas in July, folks, we're going to be talking about Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, my all-time favorite Nicktoon, as you know, Dragon.
He said sardonically so.
Folks, just the setup with Jimmy Neutron, in case you're not familiar with my views on it. I like everything about the Jimmy Neutron show, except, well, A, I don't like the animation, but that's an entirely different story. Like, I respect the animation, it just doesn't hold up well. And B, I like all the characters except for Jimmy Neutron himself. Jimmy Neutron is like the weak point in his own series by a long shot. But we're going to be giving it another chance with Holly Jolly Jimmy. So, we'll see how I like that one. All right, tropes, Dragon.
All right, tropes. Oh boy, we had some fun ones here. So, of course, Christmas at a bar. It's been a while since we've done that one.
Of course, the Holiday Santa.
Certainly, you charity Santa, absolutely. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Okay, the holiday.
There's not really too many tropes in this one.
Well, let's see though. We have a Scrooge with Archie. Archie's our Scrooge. We have kind of the Christmas spirit prevailing, kind of the Christmas moral, if you will, kind of at the end there. The whole let's give Santa a chance. Let's do something for our fellow man, which is nice. Let's see. I'm trying to think of. There was some singing, by the way. We kind of glossed over, but there was a little bit of Christmas caroling. Like the other bar patrons are Christmas caroling to Archie's annoyance, so we kind of had a little bit of that going on. And just kind of collecting for the season, just not just with charity Santa, but just like the whole kind of the money theme of it all there, just like just kind of donating money around the holidays.
Sure.
And the bar was decorated too, so it's
There you go. Okay.
All right. But you know what? Just keep it kind of short and sweet here. I mean, I tell you, it's even going back to our old favorite kind of playground with All in the Family. It's such a blast to go over all these tropes, no matter how kind of vast the list is, or how kind of nice, cozy, and familiar that list is. All these wonderful tropes, and I tell you, Tiki, especially after all the All in the Family episodes we've done, I wish there were. I just wish there were a name for this process. We owe it to All in the Family. We owe it to the great Norman Lear. We owe it. To all these wonderful people watching us, or the people that we're kind of like talking about in yesteryear. All these, the people, these wonderful actors from the late 70s. We gotta late 70s, early 80s. We gotta for their sake, Tiki. We gotta come up with a vaguely scientific yet holiday themed name for this process where we regale ourselves like all the familiar holiday tropes within our kind of our TV favorites. If only we, Tiki, I beseech you. Do you have any suggestions, like any pitches, any ideas for like a kind of a snappy, kind of catchy name we could kind of title things with here? Because I'm drawing a blank. I'm just like gone. I'm out. I got nothing.
All right. Well, what about putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope next time on Christmas in July?
Oh my dog.